Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we got another new product that we're going to cover. And I'm sorry, I'm out here on the lake, pond I should say. I don't know if you can see it right back here, but I'm at a little metro park, doing a little bass fishing, testing out some new gear. Today we're going to talk about another new product from Core Tackle called the Strut Head. And I'll show you this outside the package. I got these all in a 1/8 ounce. One's a 3/0, one's a 5/0 hook. By the time I add the paddle tail to it, I figured the 1/8 ounce is about all I need for these little shallow ponds. We'll go ahead and take out one of them bare. I've got one rigged up. Got a few of the baits. Talk about the rod, reel, line, everything that I've been using. So anyway, guys, this is the Strut Head. Another real innovative product from Core Tackle. This is in the 5/0, and like I said, I got it in a 5/0 and a 3/0. You can see here where the line tie is, and they got this little heart-shaped head that's where the lead sits up above the shank of the hook. It's got a lead keeper and a wire keeper. Hope you guys are able to pick that up. One of the things that I have found that when you tie this, you need to make sure that you cinch down that knot, and it is up at the top. But what makes this rig unique, or this terminal piece unique, is how they put this lead up on the hook. And if you're familiar with any of the other Core products, let me go ahead and pull out something else here for you guys. This one's just a little bit different. Like this is one of the finesse tush. Kind of same application, but you'll notice the difference is how the finesse tush, the scamper rig, the Ozark rig, the regular tush, all that lead is down the shank of the hook. You put that guy up where this is actually more of a head. Meant to fish it kind of like you would a ball head jig. But the difference is when you get this line tie and you get the lead above the hook, what you're going to do is you're going to get a lot of that side-to-side rocking motion. I believe this was designed with forward-facing sonar in mind. It's definitely for the jiggamento, the hover rig, the hover strolling, things of that nature. Again, I don't fish with any forward-facing sonar. I'm a bank fisherman. But what I am looking for with a lot of these things, and this is where Core Tackle has filled that niche for me, is trying to find ways to imitate dying bait fish better. And this rig has really stood out and done that for me. Let me go ahead and put these hooks back. Being out here and not in my tackle room, I don't want to accidentally drop something and either A, have someone's pet step on it, have someone barefoot step on it, or just flat lose it. So anyway, let's talk about some of the baits that I've been throwing on it. Got just a handful of them here. We'll start out with this one. This is the Net Bait Super Twitch. I use this Super Twitch on both that rig and the Scamper rig. It really works well on that Scamper rig. Same thing with this next one. I fish it on both. This is the Bass Pro Shop Rockin' Shad. This one works really, really well on that strut. And this one's at a clamshell. I'm not going to pull all these out. Most of you guys know what these baits are. This one, and I'll talk. Let me skip this one. I'll come back to it because I want to talk about it and the differences I've noticed with it. Next will be that Jackal Drift Fry. This is the 4-inch drift fry. With that bill already added to the bottom of that drift fry, this bait is a little more finessey when you have to present it with that strut head. But so far I have had it work really well. The one that I've got rigged up, and I'll show you it rigged up, is just the 6-inch juggle minnow. Little 4.0. That's in the color 4K shad. We're not really talking about colors or going into the details of these baits because we're really talking about the head. This one I saved for the last of the ones that I pulled out, but this is the Rapala Crush City Custom, what they call the Mooch Minnow. This one happens to be in gizzard shad. But the reason why I left this one for last is we're talking about any of the baits that are made with Elastec or that super TPE product, whatever it is. You guys know that bait, the bait that you can stretch and forever. One of the things that you do with any of the Z-Man plastics or the TPE plastics when you're trying to get them up over these different collars or bait keepers is you kind of have to pinch it and stretch it and pull it over. Which is fine, but it does take a little bit of extra work, at least the time that I tried to put it on. Maybe it was because my hands were cold that day, I don't know. But I did have a bit of a problem rigging that up. Alright, so here's one rigged up for us. Now, one of the key things that you got to do, guys, is you got to get this bait perfectly straight on there. This is the 1/8 ounce in the 3/0 hook. I just measure where I'm going to come out, pull it out, and you can see that I keep that line tie exactly where it needs to be. I didn't cut off my tag end. This is 8-pound trilene. It's a TPE, or I'm sorry, it is a nylon line. This is the Sensolite line. Really high sensitivity line. Got that in 8-pound, and I've got it with a 10-pound braid main line. But basically that's it, guys. How you line it up. You can see how it's rigged up. Again, how that head is above even the bait is going to make that bait rock naturally back and forth. I'll come back to that again in a second. I'm throwing that on my Johnny Morris Carbon Light Technique Specific rod. It is the Super Finesse rod. 6'9", light fast, rated for 2 to 8 pound line, 1/16 to 1/4 ounce. Got that with a Shimano Mirville. Again, I believe it's actually 10 pound. It's either 10 or 15 pound Yozuri braid to that 8-pound leader. I'm using the 8-pound leader because a bunch of little ponds that I have been fishing are loaded with grass, and I only have that nylon line in either a 4-pound or an 8-pound, and the 4-pound I think is just going to be a little too light coming through all that grass. So one of the things that I was mentioning, and let me pull out one of these heads again, just the bare head, is the action. And I was telling you how that lead being above the bait, above the hook, is going to make it naturally rock. Now, when most of you guys are fishing these jigga minnows, the first thing you're looking for are baits that are going to help rock back and forth, imitate that dying bait fish profile. One of the things that I've noticed, and I've fished it a few different ways, is it doesn't always just, and it doesn't matter which one of these baits, it doesn't always just rock left and right. It'll rock left a couple times, left, then right, then left, then right. It rocks all over the place. If you fish this more like you do a traditional swim bait, say like on that tush, the tush is here rigged up on a net bait, little spanky. This bait, you can kind of burn it and it's still going to do what it's intended to do. However, on that scamper rig, you got to fish that with a certain cadence. Get out there, kind of experiment with it, learn the cadence. Once you learn that cadence and that reel speed, it's really, really easy to get this thing to rock back and forth. No matter which one of those baits that I showed you, it's pretty easy to get it rocking. It's just another piece to my arsenal for this little swim bait, or this little minnow fishing. Again, I don't use it for forward-facing sonar. Let me step back. I hope you guys can still hear me. But when I'm casting that thing out, I'm not holding the rod up, necessarily shaking it. I'm holding my rod down and shaking it. And I find that either way works out well. Particularly for the strut head, that little down and that little subtle action works the best. I think one of the things, if the only thing that I have as a downside, now that I've been throwing this super finesse rod, that I would probably like to have seen different for it to be probably the next elevated up super finesse would have been this same size rod, 6'9", a light action, but instead of just fast, made it extra fast. I think that extra fast would have probably done the trick a little bit better. I'm pleased with the rod overall. It's got great sensitivity. Even before I fished it, I thought it was going to be the best under, when they're on sale, sub $100 reel with the best sensitivity. Part of that is because of that handle. I don't want to detour too far away from the original thing, but that's what really gives me that sensitivity in this rod. But again, I find with this particular rod, holding that rod down and doing those little shakes seems to work the best. I have held it up and give it a shake too, and it works fine that way too. I kind of rotate between the two, but if I'm going to throw it out, 90% of the time my presentation is going to be with me holding that rod tip down and shaking it. It just seemed to be the best that's worked for me. So anyway, guys, I don't want to keep that video very long. Just another new product that Core Tackle came out with. They have another new product that they just came out with. I'm probably not looking to add that to the arsenal right away. But anyway, guys, if you haven't checked out the Core Tackle line of products yet, I highly suggest that you do. I am in no way affiliated with them. I just know that what they're putting out is some really, really innovative products. I've talked to Matt Steffen a little bit. I asked him to put out a video on the Strut Head. Or told him I'd like to see him put out a video on the Strut Head. About a week later he did, so go ahead and check that out. He also tells you in that video why they decided to call it the Strut Head. I believe it was because of the way Jim Carrey strutted in the movie The Pet Detective. So anyway, go check that out. It's a neat video. While you're over there, check out Matt's videos. He's got a lot that's talking about a lot of the new products. Fish the Moment. Johnny puts on a lot of videos over there as well. Kind of goes into some more details about these new pieces of terminal that they've come out with. It's some great information. And it's really helpful for me to kind of see what these guys that develop these products are doing versus how I'm fishing them, to kind of give myself a baseline on how the bait was designed to be fished. So I kind of have that baseline for it, and then from there I can make my own modifications, my own changes to it. But I always like to see how that bait's intended to be used and how it's designed to be used. Like for an example, there's some imitators out there from the original Jackal Drift Fry, and I go out there to see how they are trying to have this bait fished and how it was intended. Sometimes if you're not getting the success out of the bait or the action out of the bait, it's because you are using it differently than the way it's intended to be used. Some of these baits easily adapt and move and change around a little bit. Others, not so much. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked that video. Stay tuned. We'll keep putting videos out. I'm going to go back through now that I fished some of these rods, reels, different baits that I bought early in the year during the winter, and go back to those. I've got some new some new rod sleeves that I haven't touched base on that are definitely game changers. So anyway, guys, I hope to see you in the next one. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I see 93% of you aren't subscribed. It really means a lot to me to help this channel if you hit that subscribe button. You know, I'm trying to bring you guys some great content, unfiltered, unedited, straight through fishing content, giving you my perspective on what works for me, how it works for me, some new baits, some older baits, technique specific, you know, you just name it. I've got a lot of things that I want to cover this year, and we're going to try to do so. I'm still only able to put out about one video a week. I'm working way too many hours to be able to sit down and do this full time. Anyway, again, if we get to the 500 subscriber mark, I've got some custom swim baits, some paddle tail swim baits that I want to give away. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.